Right, hey guys, how are we doing? Back in another video from Team 4-Star for the 4-Star Bento channel, continuing with the Dragon Ball GTFS commentary series, covering episodes 63 to 64, which I do believe are the last two episodes. Now, I remember how the series ends with Goku and the dragon, and that, I remember that. But I do not remember how Omega Shenron is defeated. I just can't. So, let's experience this together. With these guys.
A miraculous come from behind victory.
Because this isn't the last one either, because he said they're going to cover the movie after as well, so we should still have one more next week.
Goku saves the universe. All right, we're good to go.
Spoilers. FS. Is that a shave?
We're done.
We are done.
Nearly.
Dragon Ball GT. Done. It's over.
Well.
And we watched the final two episodes, and the first episode, like these were both like very well-paced, packed episodes.
okay.
I'm glad they ended on kind of like a stronger note.
Oh yeah, no. In terms of all the climaxes in GT, this is by far the best one.
Yeah, because I mean, we load up, stretching out that arm. Yeah.
Remember there was like,
When you're a dragon, you're dragging your balls. And, you know, they're still on the back foot, super hard. And it only gets worse.
yeah.
It gets bad. If it weren't for the fact that that episode was titled Goku's Come From Behind Victory,
Yeah.
Stop doing that.
Stop spoiling
Damn
it in the
it.
titles, yeah. I don't get it.
Hard to talk about these last two episodes because, like, I didn't expect to be so moved at the ending. I mean, I'd already seen the ending.
Yeah, the ending's emotional. I remember the ending being quite nice and like, you know, like, oh, cool, but everything else is like, ah.
You'd hyped up GT being like one of the best endings, probably
Ooh, because it is good. But I can't remember how Shenron is beat, man. I cannot remember.
the best endings that Dragon Ball has ever gotten.
I will-
and I have to agree.
I will fight
Damn.
that it still is, although there are arguments otherwise, which we can address later. But
I mean, yes, there's like the evergreen ending of Z, which is, you know, the adventure goes on,
Yeah.
et cetera, which, you know, there's niceness to that. Dragon Ball technically wasn't an ending, and Super still technically doesn't have one.
Yeah,
it
no, it's
kinda
kind of
does.
still
It's unlikely
going.
we're going to get a Super 2 at this point. Anyway, we'll go into the ending proper.
I don't know.
But
I
yeah,
reckon-
this episode essentially.
I reckon when Daima ends, I reckon potentially then give it like 6 months after that, and we could potentially have Super coming back again. So I feel like the manga's going to come back same time. If they want to really push Dragon Ball stuff, they've got Sparking Zero coming out at the same time as Daima coming out. Surely during that time they should bring the manga back as well and just completely just push the franchise, man. And then when the manga ends, because I reckon Black Frieza arc will be the last arc, then they have it all to work with. I
It
don't
just
know.
kind of leads off with
Makes sense to me.
Vegeta and Goku getting thoroughly just crushed by a 1-star. We are so far past either of them being able to do anything.
Yeah, no one can do anything now.
that-
How are you gonna? Yeah.
Like,
How do we come back from this?
basically just kills Goku.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah,
Like
because
we see that moment where basically he has them on the back foot. He knows he has them back foot. It's like, okay, I'm just going to kill you all now. We're done here. I'm throwing my second power ball. You lose. And
there's this hilarious line, though, I have to point out. And
Mm-hmm.
I know we talk about the power scaling and the power creep a lot, but hearing 1-star say, even at this power level, I should be able to blow up the planet. And it's like, I
Yes.
would hope so.
Yeah, you should be able
people
to.
at this range should accidentally be able to do so.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
But whatever.
But again, no, Vegeta, use a different one.
Did he just punch his ass?
Punched him. Like, no, Vegeta, that never works. Goku catches it, and it does blow up, and it makes like this big old orb of energy that creates an entire crater where that city was.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
like, should that be able to like completely destroy the planet?
Probably.
By Frieza logic, if it had hit the core and blown up from inside, probably.
Yeah. I'm going to assume at this point that when Vegeta said this will blow up the planet, he must have meant this will hit the core. Like, it will
Yeah.
travel far enough down to blow up the core of the planet, because Frieza, that's how he did it. It seemed the way that he blew up planets was he targeted their core, and that's how he blew them up.
Yeah, blow them up from the inside.
But we are so many times past
Stronger
what
than
Frieza
that,
was.
yeah.
By the time we hit the androids, we were at least multiples of what Frieza
See,
was.
it's kind of interesting to think about like how power scaling works from that point. Maybe it's
Don't
like
think about it.
diminishing returns on power levels, because as soon as you get past a certain point, maybe it's like, 1 million past this point, it doesn't make much of a difference or something. I don't know.
I don't know, but I don't want to spend too much time
Yeah,
on
no,
that.
that's not
it's
what we're
pointless,
here for,
especially
yeah.
considering base form Kid Goku catches it and holds it off for a moment,
Which makes no sense.
Whatever, logic, goodbye.
You chip it. You have to chalk it up to Shonen spirit.
Yeah.
It's him. It's that last big moment where he's
like-
summoning all of his energy to hold it off.
The Dragon Balls have done so much for this planet. It's my turn to, give my all for it. It's a fine, spirited moment.
Yeah. And when it explodes, it creates a giant crater, and at the very bottom of it, just Goku there.
Oh.
Which we learned something else about a little later. But yeah, ultimately at this point,
地球こんな星消えてなくなってしまえ
I could do this the entire time, by the way.
Yeah.
By the way, did you see
Jesus
perish
Christ.
and cease to exist? Isn't that the same thing?
No, one's die, one is non-existence. It's like the difference between passing on and passing to the void.
俺の故郷惑星ベジータはフリーザに破
We
壊され
know.
てしまったそして今度は地球かふざけるなふざけるなベジータ父さん
What? We had this great moment where just like I lost my birth planet, and now I'm losing
Can't
this
lose
planet.
my home
I can't
now
lose
again.
my family as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
You guys go take the spaceship Bulma made, fly off, and get revenge. Prepare.
So we talked a little bit about this. I would have loved that. Like, if the show had continued past this point, I firmly believe that's how they should have gone. One Star should have beaten Goku and Vegeta, blown up the planet, and everyone had to leave and go to somewhere else, probably maybe Namek, then to train and get, prepare.
In this alternate scenario where that was the.
Yeah, I think
I
that
like
would have
that.
been really cool. Like a darker turn, to be sure.
And this was a very dark moment. We saw like.
I mean, it has
getting
shifted into a
wrecked
darker tone as it's
everywhere.
gone
The
on,
King of the
though,
World
hasn't it?
Palace blew up with him inside of it, presumably.
we
West
don't
City was on fire. Everywhere was blowing up. Like, it was dire. You had people like huddled down. Like, this is the worst we had ever seen the planet.
Yeah, worse than Boo. And Boo was pretty. I
Boo
remember-
genocided
We didn't see
the
it, though,
planet.
did
Yeah,
you really?
I remember watching Boo and thinking, this is the darkest Dragon Ball's ever been. This kind of blows that out of the water. Watching a thunderbolt hit the city, and then just a hydrogen bomb. and explosion.
Damn,
Yeah.
Jesus.
It's. I was watching it, and I was actually personally affected by the mood, by the tone they were setting.
And again, if it weren't for the title of the episode,
Yeah.
might have been a little more poignancy. I'm going to
Yeah.
continue harping on that.
Yeah.
That is a major gripe of mine.
It is daft. Every time they've watched an episode and the title comes up, it does spoil what happens near the end of the
Great
episode.
titles, man, especially back then. What
Yeah.
can you do? But
Bloody hell.
so what we end up seeing is after Vegeta tells everybody, "Hey, run away. We're going to lose. You need to live on." They're like, "Nah, we're going."
Yeah, all the Saiyan boys are like, no, we're going down with this ship.
Okay.
Because I think at this
do
point
not
they
remember
all
this.
kind of realize what's happening as Goku is charging a spirit bomb.
I don't know if they realize that yet.
Vegeta seemed
Oh.
to,
Well,
because
that's
he was like, it took you long enough or some.
Well, he also lands near that crater, and I think that's when he realizes what's happening. But I will say this: so everyone comes back to fight. One Star just starts smacking them all around. Vegeta tries to get behind him to use his final shine again, which, by the way,
0 for 4.
now just uses like the two hands. And the first time he does it, it's a one hand. Now it's a two hand. Whatever.
Make up your mind.
Vegeta's eternal sad boy.
Yeah.
And finally, like, I'd seen this attack in video games. I did not know the scene that it came from. He did the shoots out his spikes and impales Vegeta
Oh,
from
damn.
behind. It looks brutal.
Jesus, through the shoulder and
is
everything.
really
Whoa.
brutal.
Probably the most brutal since Krillin getting impaled by Frieza.
I would. Oh no, I would definitely say Yamcha.
With Jiro? Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Yeah, although it's more reminiscent, if I had to be honest, of Piccolo shooting that blast
Through
through
Goku's shoulder, yeah.
It's a very similar wound. And honestly, I'm gonna say it. I miss stuff like this in Dragon Ball. Okay,
Like
I don't need.
the old, like the momentary ultra violence.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just those
it's
small
shocking, it
little
stands
bits
out.
Where, like, you're shocked.
Yeah.
Because, I'm sorry, there should be some, like, viscerality to these fights.
No, he's right. It's like, don't do it all the time. But when it happens, be like, oh my god. Because this is like the final fight, isn't it? So there's a moment like that, you're like, whoa, is he dead? He could be dead. Ah.
Damage should be done. Super was so bad about that. Super never wanted to show anyone taking actual damage. Hits really feeling like they landed. I don't know, I missed that. I'm glad it's here. It ratchets that drama up. Everyone's getting destroyed out there. And then in that last moment, we see Goku down in the crater. And at first, it seems like an inner monologue, but if you actually...
That's what I took it as until you like told me later. It's like, no, he's projecting his feeling to the earth, like to everybody.
The one thing that'll give it away, in the show, most of the time anyway, inner monologues don't have a reverb or echo. It's usually just, closer to the mic. Like, it's when that's happening, that's how they communicate that. They don't put a reverb, they just get closer to the mic.
Okay.
Here, you can hear a reverb. You hear him kind of like speaking with a reverb.
The psychic echo.
And so I think that is the way, because he says, hey, I need your energy. Like, I need your energy.
Because we cut to a shot of like everybody on Earth doing like this, and I was thinking like, how did they know to do that? And I guess like you corrected me at that point.
Yeah.
So,
All right,
you,
fair.
you told them.
Yeah, it's a little vague. That's
Yeah.
I'm only bringing it up. I'm only even saying anything because it is a little vague in the moment. So,
貴様生きていたのか
I'm too young to die again.
まだ死ねねえな
It is an epic tune, like, to be fair.
おめえをやっつけるまではな
so he's holding it up, and something interesting happens that at first I was going to complain about, but then I realized this might not be a plot hole or like an inconsistency at all. So of course, like everyone's holding up their arms, giving the energy, and the one star is like, no, absolutely not, and starts blasting him. But the blasts
Don't hurt him.
The blasts don't do anything. And at first I was going to complain, like, why?
But with what we learn later, it actually kind of makes a bit more sense.
Yeah, and it makes the moment like I love this, by the way. I
Yeah,
do
no,
love.
this-
Is
I
it
do
'cause of the
love
negative
how it
energy?
retroactively makes this moment sadder. I guess
A little, yeah. Because like Goku charges it up. We'll get to why in a second.
Yeah, and he asks, and of course Kyle-sama is like he asks him, hey, look, I'm charging up the spirit bomb.
I don't got enough. Can you hook me up with the universe like everybody we've met? I need help.
Yeah, I love how Kyle's like, wow, you've really touched on something brilliant there, and it's like you really never thought. Okay.
Yeah, I mean we've done this before, but yep, I'm pretty smart.
Yeah. So he asks the universe to give Goku their energy. And the interesting thing is, like, I don't know how fast energy.
It travels as fast as it needs.
Yeah,
to.
apparently it does. As you said, as fast as the plot.
Yep.
As fast as the
And
plot,
so
I love that.
he starts building this giant. I think this might be the biggest.
Probably the biggest one we've seen.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's
God
and this is
damn.
the point where we get all of the cameos from everybody
Oh,
that we've
okay,
met so
that's
far.
cool.
The capitalism planet, the giant from the bee planet.
Oh,
I will
okay.
say I felt like there weren't as many cameos from older characters in this one. I don't.
Yeah, no, we didn't. We did get cameos from both Tien and Yamcha. Still no lines.
Oh yeah, in the
They
last
never
episode.
get to
Yeah.
talk.
ボンパラバッパボン
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
boys! I approve. Throw your heads in the air like you don't care.
Jesus Christ.
I am the hope of the universe.
おじいちゃん神様みたい
No, that'll be about a decade from now. More than that.
Well, actually, technically, it would have been a decade prior.
Yeah, but like release order wise.
So it was a
You were
spirit
too
bomb.
young to remember
Okay.
my god days, Pan.
And so builds up this giant spirit bomb. And I will say this. Well, I do like this climax, and I do think it's the best one in GT. The fact that one star just kind of stands there, takes it, and dies
right.
immediately.
When he's been proven to be so fast that it's incalculable to even our heroes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And not to mention, like, at the end of Boo, that final push was desperate. They needed a wish on the Dragon Balls to make it happen. There was so much that went into that. Here, it's just kind of charge Spirit Bomb, use the energy from everyone in the universe, throw it, he dies. Not terrible. I'm not, like, super disappointed, but it is a kind of like, all right, let's wrap it up.
Yeah, it very much felt like that, but it also comes down to the fact that, again, he is a very, very bland villain.
Yeah, that
like
too.
Not much personality at all.
Monumentally bland.
Yeah, I felt nothing when he actually died. I was not, the moments leading up to it and everything surrounding it, oh, this is big.
Which I feel like was more the point anyway.
Yeah, it's fine.
It was more like, again, it was more about the journey than the destination, which was actually kind of the entire point of the last 2 episodes in general. So, sticking to theme, I'll let it have that.
Yeah, and also a universal spirit bomb. It's a good pull. Like it's a little bit too close to the last time he beat that big villain at the end of another series, but it's fine. It's okay. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
You know what? We haven't had a spirit bomb this entire time.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's fine. Let's and it's a very easy way to get the cameos from all of the places that we've seen so far.
Yeah.
The little like curtain call of all of the little cameos that we got from like the hospital planet, everybody. Yeah, I'm fine with that. I think I think what they did worked, and he did get like a really cool kill shot. Like when he did dissolve, you see his skeleton for a second. It's like,
Yeah, seeing his pelvis, I'm like, oh, okay.
you see his
That's pretty
spinal
cool,
column, it's
actually,
Like, okay, that's
yeah.
probably the most violent we've seen, like a destruction of somebody since Cell getting like wiped.
Right? I mean, like when it came to say Boo, we get to see him get disintegrated, but he's just kind of goo.
Yeah,
Here,
it's more the nature of his character to be disintegrated like that. This guy had a
Yeah.
skeleton.
yeah, it's pretty
got bones.
wild. And then that spirit bomb creates a giant, like I don't know what you call that, like
Crater Valley.
yeah.
Wow,
and
that's
it
pretty
flies
cool.
off. The explosion looks really cool.
And the Earth is saved. The Dragon Balls pop down, and Shenron pops out. We finally get to see Shenron in GT, and he looks, he's beautiful.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love him.
Yeah. Luckily, which I would have been
Cool.
stunned if this weren't the case, last 2 episodes, they got the good art and animation.
Yeah.
Sweet, cool,
Everything
awesome.
looks
Looks
gorgeous.
great.
Yeah.
Looks great. Now we can bring back Krillin, and maybe the good 17. So I mean, thinking about it, really wasn't 17's fault. Amazing to me, all of that was 1 episode.
Yeah, that was like very well paced. Again, I could have done with more in that actual final moment. I would have been fine if that had gone on longer. Just to kind
It
of
didn't have to, though. I feel like if they had built up Omega Shenron to actually have a character, maybe you could earn like a bit more time with that. But as he was, this felt like a fitting end to kind of a bland, evil McBad guy.
Yeah, but like you said, it's kind of not the point, because the real point is kind of introduced in the next episode.
Yeah, when Shenron shows up, and he seems to have like a very personal conversation with
With
Goku.
Goku. I mean, I do kind of remember the last episode.
となりシャドモが生き返ったのも
Again,
やっぱあれもドラゴンボールがおかしくなっちまったせいだ。
どうやらお前たちはドラゴンボールの力に頼りすぎたようだ
So pay very close attention to what he just said there about life and death and those worlds merging.
you know why this happened, right? It's like, yeah, we overused the Dragon Balls, and now we have to rebuild Earth on our own. But could you do me like one more favor before, can you just bring back everybody that was killed because of our actions?
Yeah, it's like, hey, it's not their fault, all right? And this was on us.
Yeah,
Please just
we
bring-
need a chance to.
Yeah, which in like Shenlong is like, yeah, okay, no,
This is the last one, and
yeah.
then I'm leaving.
And so everyone comes back to life. It's sort of implied Krillin came back off screen. He must have been at Roshi's because he's there the next
Yeah,
time. we see
they
him.
just had
Oh, okay.
they just had his little like pop-up capsule casket there. It's like, oh, you're back. porn.
Yeah, right. And yeah, so everyone's come back to life. We get a few moments of watching people kind of get up in the rubble.
And a few discussions, one of which is a quick but important explanation that, like, when all of this was happening, when this mystical force was messing with everything, it shattered, like, it kind of messed with the divide between the living world and the spirit world and other worlds.
So this is an interesting point, and I didn't consider this. So we didn't talk much about it because I think it just kind of didn't register with us. Back at the beginning of
Super 17?
No,
Or-
at the end of Super 17, beginning of the Evil Dragon Saga, we actually get this conversation, this piece of information that is dropped from Evil Shenron, like the blue one.
Right. Mob boss Shenron.
Yeah, and he notes that the only reason that Hell and Earth were able, like Hell and the living world were able to open up was because of the negative energy from the Dragon Balls. That's why Enmadiah wasn't able to do anything there. And I kind of like, I actually just did not register that when we were watching.
There was a lot of times where, like, we were kind of glazed
a
over.
little
just like-
bit, especially because that is a lot. He just gives like
That
5
entire
minutes.
episode was exposition.
Yeah.
Exposition. It's like, oh my God, it's
But-
like watching the end of a Metal Gear game.
But I remember thinking, why did they change that? What purpose did they have in making that a part of this?
And finally, it kind of comes full circle here.
Yeah, because at the first part, I was like, did you really have to try and tie these together like that? Seems pointless. But here, he brings it up. He very specifically says, so the living came back to life.
The dead were able to come back to life. The realm between life and death, like, they crossed over.
Yeah. And so after he brings back everyone to life, he's like, all right, it's time to go. And it's like, oh, is that time already?
Already?
Okay.
Like, Goku understands something that the audience still hasn't quite gotten yet.
Yeah. And he gets on the dragon, and Vegeta runs up to him.
Yeah,
and is
he's the first one to know.
yeah, it's like, hey, where are you going? Are you off to train?
Wait a minute.
Wait a second.
He's like, shh,
Yeah, Goku's like, hold on,
don't worry about it. I don't want everybody worrying about this.
And so he takes off, and everyone's like, where are you going? And he doesn't even answer. Like, Chi-Chi's like, okay.
Come on, I got a special treat for dinner. Okay.
Yeah. She takes it in stride at this point.
And he goes off and he visits Krillin and Master Roshi one more time.
Yeah, I remember this. He
gives
goes to see
Krillin,
everyone
like,
before he
a little
disappears,
spar
yeah.
where he, lets him get a shot in, or it actually loses. Who knows?
It definitely feels like he's letting him win because he's trying to be.
It could be
sweet
that.
and
It could
honest.
also be that he is tired after doing everything.
Well, no,
For so
Shenlong
long,
actually
yeah.
like healed all his wounds.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
So yeah,
this
he holds back and lets Krillin get a shot in,
Which is sweet. I
Yeah.
think that's very sweet of him.
and continues flying off on Shenron, visiting a few people.
Well, hold on. I want to note, Krillin's like, hey, I'm back to life. And then he kind of like, his face kind of like goes more neutral. And it's like, wait a second, are you? And then Goku's like, don't talk about it.
Yeah,
let's,
that's true.
let's chill
Krillin
out.
realizes too.
And then when they're fighting, Roshi recognizes it as well. It's really kind of like, what is happening right now?
Yeah.
What's happening with Goku?
And then we see him visit Piccolo in Hell. And Piccolo's fighting a really cool, like, toad dragon monster thing.
Yeah.
Again, being king of hell, Piccolo.
Yeah.
As far as the shitty situation they put him in, I think they've made the best of what they did.
I don't love how he got there, but I do like what he's doing.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'll give you that. Don't love the journey, love the concept. And honestly,
That's
I
the
would
thing. All the concepts they have, brilliant.
watch more episodes about
The delivery
him
is just-
being the
King of Hell.
Yeah, basically.
Demon King Piccolo.
The Hell
In
Bouncer.
Yeah, in name and title. Like, I like that they just employed him, basically.
I want Piccolo in the Hell shirt now. I need to see Piccolo in the Hell shirt.
That would be cool. Yeah.
called the throne. And so he goes up to Piccolo, and Piccolo is furious at this point because he's like, dude, do you know how much I gave to get you out of here?
I literally trapped myself in here to get you out of here. What is wrong with you? Shake my hand.
What? No, come on,
Do it.
let's do it.
And you get this little spark, and I think Piccolo sort of recognizes it at that point. We got a cool looking shot of him, probably one of the cooler looking shots I've ever seen, like where he's just kind of like standing at this angle after Goku Batmans him like he does everybody else.
Cool.
I
That is cool.
love all these moments, by
Yeah.
the way. Like where Piccolo, because in this moment, this is Goku like recognizing, hey Piccolo, we could not have done this without you.
Yeah.
And that's really nice because Piccolo, I don't like the way that GT handled Piccolo, but and that's largely because he is this character who has been around for so long and so heavily integral to this plot.
I will never not stand on the hill that he should have gone on that initial journey.
But it is nice to see this final moment with them, this recognition of one another, and then he Batmans, and
Finally, we get kind of the reveal. As much as a reveal as we're going to get until the very end.
yeah,
Where Pan's walking around the battlefield because she's still like, where'd he go? What's happening? And she finds his tattered gi on the ground.
which should not be there.
Yeah, because he's wearing it.
Yeah, I mean it's tattered, but he still has it on. So
The implication we're given is that when he caught that spirit death ball, like that final power ball, it killed him.
yeah, it's now it is implied. I actually looked up a little bit right before we did the discussion. I'm like, hey, I went to Konzenshu's tidbit page. They actually have like a whole breakdown of what this was. Because
right.
the ending to GT is very vague in this term. Like, and even people on the staff have only implied it could be this.
I think it's one of those things that it can be up to interpretation, which I like. I like just, letting people be media literate.
Yeah, I'm totally fine with this. In my eyes, he died there.
Yeah, he died when he caught the ball.
Yeah.
That makes sense in a lot of ways, given like all of the evidence we have been presented. The living world and the spirit world kind of crossing over. Him no-selling all of the offense as he's charging the spirit.
All right,
bomb.
yeah, it does make more sense of it.
And-
Right, I like that.
I don't know if they intended to do this, but they took the halos away from people, the dead people. Specifically
Oh, yeah.
in the saga where all this negative energy, life and death, so there's no halos on Frieza
Yeah,
and Cell.
no
even
halos
though-
on Frieza and Cell. Piccolo in Heaven had a halo, so I think they gave it to like
Right.
people who were granted heavenly status.
It's tough. It's kind of hard to say.
They just
But-
got to change the logic of it, but
Yeah.
for what they deliver on, I think that's okay.
Yeah. And so Goku doesn't have a halo, but that we see that is not proof of whether or not he's alive or dead.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, we see Pan pick this up, and then like Vegeta goes over there and is like, "Hey, you should really hold on to that."
Yeah, hold on to that.
And that,
Aw.
that is.
Yeah, and I know it choked you up.
Like you were making a lot of jokes, and I was
That's
like,
my nature.
Yeah, I know. It's fine. I'm not mad, but you were making the jokes, and I'm just over here like, "Oh right, this ending's really good."
どこ行ったんだ悟空悟空おい悟空
Aw.
And when there was only one pair of prints in the sand, that was when Goku was there to fight you. It's a very good ending because we see,
No, go ahead.
yeah, because we like see Goku flying off. He's on that final farewell tour. We get shots of people like looking up and seeing Shenron fly past. Yamcha looks up. Tien looks up.
Yeah, luckily they get their.
They get their
cameo.
10th second of screen time.
Yeah, and Goku lays on Shenlong, and he's like, "Wow,
Ah.
it's so warm up here," and all the Dragon Balls are absorbed into him. And then they just fly off, and it's sort of implied that Goku is dead, but where he's going with Shenlong to wherever Shenlong, like
Where is he going? We
Go,
don't
yeah.
really know. And there's something beautiful about that, about the fact that his journey isn't necessarily over, but for the sake of the Earth it is. And it's so over that we cut to like 60 years in the future.
One thing
Yeah,
we
I
can
remember this being a bit
actually
weird.
skip over. Shenlong took the Dragon Balls with him, by the
Yeah.
way. The Dragon Balls, the Earth Dragon Balls, they gone. Because it's like, hey, yeah, you misused them too much. I got to take these. And then I think it was Trunks who says, they'll be back someday. It's just,
Yeah,
you know,
we just
after-
need to earn them.
Yeah, after everything is said and done, after we've earned them back, we'll get the Dragon Balls. Which, hey, you know what?
Maybe
that's
they
fine.
do. And
Yeah.
if not, Namek still exists.
Well, it's proven that they do.
Yeah.
It's proven that the Dragon Balls do, in fact, come back. And then, the part I don't like, I really don't like. So, this ending up until now, really liked it.
Oh,
And then they
Really don't
go.
like this next part.
You don't like the cut to like 60 years in the future?
Goku's like great whatever, and then Vegeta's fighting. Yeah,
I
thought it
hate
was a
it.
bit
I
odd.
actually
They could have just
really
ended
do
it there.
not like it. And I'll tell you why, but first let's go over what happened.
We just go to like a far in the future Tenkaichi Budokai, a world martial arts tournament where
There's a new announcer who looks slick as hell, and in a new
Alright.
location that
Yeah,
looks
he-
way too over the top.
he looks Back to the Future 2 as
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
And Grandma Pan is sitting in the stands, and it's the final bout of the junior division, where I guess they still have a junior division, and the adult division has a lot to cover. Because Goku Jr. is down there, and I like his look. I like his getup. I like that he has kind of like an homage to Bardock almost with the headband.
You know what, right? I imagine, because GT Funko Pops have just started coming out, down the line, that's going to be an exclusive at some point, isn't it? Like a
And
Hot Topic
Here or
exclusive or
there,
something.
on the whole look, I feel like some of the colors are a little bit weird. Like,
The entire, you could say that about most of the show.
yeah, that's true.
But as far as like GT's aesthetics go, I think he looks good.
Yeah.
And then
that's
you have
pretty
Shrinky Dink Vegeta.
Who is basically just in Vegeta's Buu Saga outfit, but with
Fingerless gloves.
They did
fingerless
not do
gloves,
much with
and
that at
instead
all.
of the pants going all the way down, they stop at his thighs, which is
He's wearing a unitard, like a wrestling unitard or a gymnast's unitard.
honestly, it's a good look for him. It kind of with the bat that doesn't all go all the way down, it symbolizes like, hey, he's a kid, and then they fight, and like
Pan is in the stands.
and with a character that we were introduced to. If we'd watched this in the order that it aired, if we watched this in broadcast order, the special introduces the character that's sitting next to her.
the Bulma clone.
No, no,
Oh.
no. The
Oh, the little fat kid.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
in the special.
Yeah.
Which we will cover, but he's sitting next to her talking, and like they're fighting, and Vegeta's like, "Oh, you're the first person who's ever really given me a run for my money," and like Goku Jr. is like, "Yeah, me too," and they both power up to Super Saiyan, and this entire time, a girl, like you said, who looks exactly like Bulma, with her actress, sits down next to Pan, and they start talking like they don't know each other.
Yeah, like those families just kind of drifted apart over the generations, I guess.
Huh.
Kind of weird.
Yeah, Pan recognizes after she has a conversation with somebody, like a video conversation with somebody over the phone, like, "Oh, ma'am, like the presentation's about to start. You have to get here." And she's like, no, hell no. The
I need
good
to
part,
watch my. Yeah, I need to watch.
I need to watch my son like go wild out here. You deal with your own nonsense. And so Pan puts together like, oh, she works for Capsule Corp, Bulma's corporation.
Huh, I wonder if that kid could be related. That spiky-haired young Saiyan could be related to Vegeta somehow.
Yeah.
So dense.
But as she's watching like the fight continue now, she sees that Goku is in the audience, like actual like grown-up Goku. She obviously is like, oh my god, it's my granddad. And so she tries to get over there, but by the time she's there, like on the other side of the stadium, he's gone already.
Yeah, he went off to the snack bar by then.
And then we see him walking away. Don starts to play. And
We
then
get montage.
Yeah, we get a little bit of the narrator, like like Goku with his joyful expression, blah blah blah. We get this huge montage of the entire show set to Don, and then at the very end, it's like this is the end of Dragon Ball, as we see Goku like go up into the air with his bow and he flies off, and yeah.
That's the end of Dragon Ball.
Yeah, they, for some reason, I don't know if this was in the broadcast version, because they have the credits over the montage.
Yeah, they play like an extended credits. They go over the entirety of the series, what it feels like.
Yeah.
And then they have the normal credits right after it. I don't know.
Which I
But
like those credits. It's
to,
fine.
yeah, to get back to like the substance of the matter, some say his ghost still haunts that tournament ground to this very day.
You haven't seen the special.
Nope.
Yeah.
I hadn't even seen these episodes.
Yeah, there's something that plays into that. There's more in that. It's kind of why I wanted to watch the special a little bit, because it informs this ending. It's kind of implied that he might be alive, he might be dead. It's kind of hard to say.
He's in this weird nebulous state where he's kind of one with the spirit of the Dragon Balls.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of what I'm picking up, is that he is not alive nor is he dead. He's in a different state of being
He's in
that
between.
until Dragon Ball Super came out is probably the closest we've gotten to like mortal divinity.
Yeah. And so
It's like almost this shamanistic state.
the reason I really don't like this is, one, it feels very fan-winky. No, I don't need to see a future where, oh, hey, look, it's Goku Jr. and Vegeta
Yeah, we don't need
Jr.
that.
fighting each
It
other.
could've just
But that on
ended
its
with
own
Shenron
isn't the
just
thing that
flying
really
off.
bothers me. the thing that really bothers me is this idea that the Son family and and Bulma's family suddenly like fell apart.
Yeah,
Kinda
no.
drifted apart.
Yeah, that. And
I don't see that
in
happening.
one generation.
2 generations.
Well, yeah, technically 2. I don't like that.
No.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
They're like.
It's not really nice when you think
it doesn't
about it.
bother me as much because it's like far enough in the future that it's like they had different friend groups, whatever. And maybe there was even like a weird generational gap between some of the children and stuff that just I don't. It doesn't bother me that much. To me, it feels like a having their cake and eating it too sort of moment where it's like you have this beautiful ending with Goku flying off, and it's like, but we still want that evergreen, the adventure goes on feel. And I was fine with it. It does not bother me as much as it bothers you.
It bothers. I guess it just kind of bothers me because it's one of the least original things I feel like. After what they did was go.
The least original thing in GT is saying a lot.
Well, here's the thing. After such an interesting thing that they do with Goku there, because it is like a very interesting choice that has a lot of like it's melancholy as hell.
But it's beautiful. Like I love that ending actually.
Yeah.
Like legitimately one of the best moments in GT by far. And I know there's a joke in there. It's like the best thing about GT is when it ends. But that ending is actually great.
Yeah, it's just that little bit extra afterwards.
Just
Doesn't
not
sound
necessary.
In fact, it doesn't even like it doesn't even make the ending technically all that much worse to me. I just don't like that part, but it doesn't negate all the stuff that came before it. All that stuff is still good and pristine. I can just kind of accept that stuff afterwards that I just think is like, okay, that's sort of lame.
Yeah.
But that's it. So yeah, the ending, like these last 2 episodes, genuinely good Dragon Ball.
Yes, very good.
Like I've had a lot of critiques of GT and I stand
Yeah.
by all of them, but like and while I don't think the Evil Dragons was the best saga,
Again, great concept executed with mixed
yeah,
results.
there are some highs here, like with 4-star and 3-star, with
Some of the action that we've gotten.
and this whole ending here. Yeah, it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'd go back and change my ranking in December necessarily. I might.
There's discussions to be had here. I have an idea for like certain discussions to be had about GT in particular, but we can cross that bridge a bit later on.
Yeah, this ending.
As it stands right now, great ending.
Yeah, I really like it, and I agree. It's the best ending Dragon Ball got.
Yeah.
Certainly
nice.
as somebody who was always kind of here or there on the Z ending, this got a big emotional pull from me. So hey,
It's like for all of the trials and tribulations that went through this, they stuck the landing.
Yeah.
And, like, landed well. They may have like cracked their skull on a few attempts, but they landed it at the end.
Cracked their
And
skull on a
everybody
few
survived that
attempts.
plane
I
crash.
love it.
It's
Oh
kind of
my
remarkable.
gosh.
But in regards to how that post-ending scene goes, I guess we'll get some context to that in the special,
Yes.
which we'll watch.
next time on GT. On
Yeah, next time.
Yeah, next time on
Yeah,
next time on GTFS.
Giru lived again.
Yay!
He's still alive. Yo, buddy! They even wished him back. Smack! 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 Oh, battered wife.
Jesus.
Such a little guy.
They make hero plushes, right? They have to make hero plushes.
I hope it's just a metal ball. That's just plush.
Ah. So yeah, I do remember the ending being good, but like that extended bit where it's just like, oh, it's going on a little bit too long here. But no, so we've still got one more. We've got the special next week. That'd be cool. I'm intrigued to see what they're gonna do after, because he kind of made a joke about Super, and I wouldn't mind watching them do a commentary series on Super. You know, we'll find out. I suppose next week they'll let us know, a little tease or something. But thank you to my patrons. If you want to have your name at the end of every video or want to be able to watch Patreon-only reactions, such as the original Dragon Ball series, Link is in the description to the Patreon page. $1 a month is all I ask to help support the channel. It's greatly appreciated. Thanks for that. And thank you all for watching. What do you guys think of that? What do you guys think of this? Click like, subscribe if you haven't already. Leave comments down below. Let me know what I should watch and discuss in future videos. I'll see you guys all you guys next time.